Hi viewers. So today we discuss another important issue, a burning issue of the print media or mass media is concerned. Also it is a legal issue, that is the process of the electoral bonds and its development. And Election Commission yesterday notified the list of donors as well as the list of recipients of the electoral bonds. So the issue of electoral bonds is there in our country since 2017. So regarding this, I have posted a lecture a couple of days back explaining the inner holdings of the electoral bonds and the judgment of the Supreme Court of India in revealment of the electoral bonds, as the non-revealment of information is nothing but violating the Article 19, clause number 1 and A of the Constitution of India, where we got the Right to Information Act of 2005. And Supreme Court has directed the issuer of the bond, the State Bank of India, to give the complete list to the Election Commission, so that Election Commission can fix up or exhibit such list in its website by March 15th of 2024. But meanwhile, the decision of the Supreme Court, again the Election Commission filed a interlocutory application in the Supreme Court that it is not ready to provide the information within this time, and it requires some more time to prepare a detailed accounts of the electoral bonds, those who deposited, who purchased, and those parties who have encashed the electoral bonds. So the Election Commission had the duty to conduct the fair and fair elections. That has duty is castigated under the Article 224 to 330 of the Constitution of India. It is an independent body. It should not take sides of any political party. So meanwhile, the electoral bonds issue is there in our country since 2017, and a writ petition was filed by the ADR and other public spirited organizations, and ultimately a couple of days back itself the Supreme Court has given a judgment that the donors' information, the amount of they donated, and the claimers' information, each political party, how much they have claimed, that has to be revealed to the public by putting in the website of the Election Commission of India. So yesterday the Election Commission has put out that information, and earlier the State Bank of India, the IA, was dismissed by the apex court of the land, and because of that the State Bank of India is bound to provide the list of recipients and also donors. And day before, yesterday itself, before of deadline of 15th of March, as today, yesterday by evening, the Election Commission of India had exhibited the list. If we see who are the top 10 donors, we could see all big industrial corporations. Those include almost all companies have contributed one way or the other to this. If you go by the top 10, the future gaming and hotel services company had donated 1350 crores of purchased these bonds. And the mega engineering company based at Hyderabad, they got 966 crores. And its subsidiary, Uttar Pradesh Power Transmission Corporation, it has purchased 220 crores worth of electoral bonds. Then Quick Supply Chain Company, it has got 410 crores. Haldia Energy, 377 crores. Vedanta Limited, it has given 376.65 crores. Then Eshel Minlak Industries, it had purchased 224.45 crores of bonds. Bharti Airtel Limited, Airtel, which has got purchased 198 crores of bonds. And Keventer Food Park Infra, it has got 194 crores of bonds. Not only this, the top purchasers, there are almost all major companies in our country had got purchased these bonds, electoral bonds. Those include PVR Cinemas, Edelweiss, Sun Pharma, Sun Wine, so almost all big companies. So that is the reason the Supreme Court has stated that merely a company cannot purchase, it has intention to quid pro quo. So quid pro quo, in return what they get, that is the reason, that is the main reason for prompting them to purchase the electoral bonds. Because party in power, they may favor them. With that view only, these public spirited persons have filed this petition in the Supreme Court of India. If you see, the top gainers are those who encashed the electoral bonds. Then I am listing here the Bharatiya Janata Party. It has received, encashed 6,060.5 crores of electoral bonds. The second position goes to Trinamool Congress. It has got 1,609.5 crores. That is ratio is at 12.6%, and BJP has a ratio of the 47.5% of bonds. Then Congress party has got 1,421.90 crores of encashment from the electoral bonds are concerned. Its ratio is 11.1%. Likewise, even state parties like Rashtriya Samiti, which has got 9.5 crores of electoral bonds in it has encashed. Then DMK 5%, and all political parties, all state and political parties which are there, leave alone the small political parties. The parties are in power in various states, in various modes. They have encashed, they got this kind of money. You know, while I am referring the first company, that is which has invested huge amount of around 1350 crores, that is the future gaming and hotel services company. That is an unknown company, not well aware in India. But again, a money laundering case, enforcement directorate is filed a case and it is investigating against that company under the Money Laundering Act of 2002. It has invested, it has purchased this huge sort of bonds, which shows nexus between the top industrialists or to political parties or ruling political parties. Whatever party it may be, they want something in return, quid pro quo, that has been stated by the Supreme Court itself. The honorable judges have stated that. So what is the solution? How to avoid this? For that also we have to think. There should not be any nexus should be there between the industrialist and the political ruling elites people. If you observe some countries with democracies around the world, the electoral bonds are there, like United Kingdom, Australia, United States. The system of electoral bonds is there, but that will be regulated strictly, and they have to report their purchases to immediate election commissions of the respective states. If you see the United Kingdom, Britain, if any person, any association can donate to a political party, but if it is more than 7,500 pounds sterling, immediately he has to register the same to the agencies or election commission, and the election commission has to put out the information in its website, and every that will be updated regularly. What is, how much the parties or individuals are investing or purchasing, and how much they are giving to the political parties, that has to be updated regularly. That kind of restriction is there in United Kingdom. Whereas Australia also having the same, but they added some more thing, that they have to report and to submit the current value of the bond as per the consumer price index. And in United States of America, the strict vigilance and regulation is made to political funding. Individuals who are donating the political parties and the parties who are receiving from the individuals or associations or groups, they have to report regularly to the Federal Election Commission as well as the state election commissions. And the different laws are there. Some exemptions are there. To when the presidential election is there, there are certain exemptions. But when the other elections are concerned, a Senate election, the House of Representative elections, or any other local elections, strictly they have to report the matter to the election commission of the respective places or the states. In countries like in some other European countries, to avoid this eventuality of nexus between the political parties and the industrialist or topmost persons, richest persons, some countries are embarked upon the public funding of elections. That is a best solution. If you go to Europe, Croatia, Serbia, Georgia, then Germany, they adapted the candidate or political party, and nobody has to fund to incur the expenses. The state itself funds, state itself bears all the expenses of the political, the, the persons who are contesting in elections. And in case of Russia, one of the largest country, biggest country in the world, as today it is, elections are going on for in Russia for president's post. So there also the government gives the funding basing upon the performance of the political party in the fray, in the elections, basing upon their percentage of votes they get. As per that, the state, the Russian government give the funding to such political parties. So these states may have lesser population, but in India we have the huge population, number of political parties are there, some are active, some are inactive. And ours is a developing country. Just I am referring to a developed country's example, but in developing countries like India, it is not possible. But we have to make a stringent laws. Everything is possible. We have to make a stringent law to avoid this sort of nexus between the industrialist, wealthiest persons and also in between the political parties. Then only fair elections will be conducted and democracy will survive. Unless until fair elections are not conducted, democracy will not survive. So maybe we are late, but Supreme Court has taken a very, very highly a sensitive decision for safeguarding the democracy in India is concerned. We are very much thankful to the Supreme Court of India and the judges and also the public spirited persons, groups who waged a battle for fair and fair elections and to restoring the Right to Information Act and restoring the freedom of speech and expression by regulating these electoral bonds. So with this I am concluding my lecture. Once again I request all of you to join, subscribe into my channel and spread across in your communities. Thank you one and all.